Hello and welcome to Bookish Sisters Podcast. I'm Aly.
And I'm Jaime, and we are two sisters who love talking about books.
Today we'll be talking about Beauty and the Beast retellings. So what do you think makes Beauty and the Beast so popular and retold so often?
I think it's popular because everyone loves a good love story. And seeing how the characters develop over the course of the book.
Especially the Beast. His character changes so much.
He really does.
I also think it's one of those classic and timeless tales that everyone's familiar with, so it's probably why it's retold so much.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
So if you were a household item, what would you be? Like in the Beauty and the Beast castle.
I really don't know. I've thought about this question a lot, and I cannot figure it out. But I know what I wouldn't want to be.
I can think of a lot of things I wouldn't want to be, too.
I wouldn't want to be like Mrs. Potts. I wouldn't want to be anything that's breakable. I'm too clumsy for that.
I am too.
I would take on damage. I would be chipped. I would be broken. Just no thank you.
I know I wouldn't want to be anything that had to do with, like, heat or fire, because I wouldn't want to be hot all the time. Mm-hmm. And I'm really clumsy, and I feel like I would set things on fire all the time.
You and me both.
Could you imagine if I was, like, a candelabra or a fireplace and you put me in a library?
No, the whole castle would be burnt down.
Exactly. It's not a good idea.
No one would be able to do anything about it. And then I wouldn't want to be a clock, because I can't stand the sound of ticking.
Yeah.
So I would drive myself insane.
I don't think I'd want to be anything to do with, like, cleaning.
No.
Because then you'd be cursed to clean forever, and who wants that?
Can I just be, like, a book or something? I think
I would want to be a bookcase, because then I could hold all my favorite books.
But you wouldn't be able to move easily.
Oh. Okay, but what if you're a book, Jaime? Are you just gonna, like, have spread wings and, like, fly around? Like, you're stuck on the bookshelf forever, someone opens you up and leaves you.
I don't know. But I would want to be something smaller that could move easier than something big.
Maybe you need to be the footstool, like the dog footstool.
I don't want people's feet on me. Like, there's too many things. Like, but I guess if everyone is transformed and you only have to worry about Belle, like, there would be less concerns. But, like, I don't want anyone touching me.
Basically, there are no good choices.
Yeah. So, listeners, we would love to hear your thoughts on what household item you would be turned into.
There are no wrong answers. So one of the first retellings we thought we'd talk about would be the classic story that we read, which was Lost in the Book by Jennifer Donnelly. So this one, the synopsis is, smart, bookish Belle, a captive in the Beast's castle, has become accustomed to her new home and has befriended its inhabitants. When she comes upon Nevermore, an enchanted book, unlike anything else she's seen in the castle, Belle finds herself pulled onto its pages and transported to a world of glamour and intrigue. The adventures Belle has always imagined, the dream she was forced to give up when she became a prisoner, seem within reach again. The charming and mysterious characters Belle meets within the pages of Nevermore offer her glamorous conversation, a life of dazzling Parisian luxury, and even a reunion she never thought possible. Here, Belle can have everything she has ever wished for. But about her friends in the Beast's castle. Can Belle trust her new companions inside the pages of Nevermore? Is Nevermore world even real? Belle must uncover the truth about the book before she loses herself in it forever.
I loved this one.
It was so good. Even just rehearing the synopsis makes me want to pick it up again.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this was one of our first, like, Beauty and the Beast retellings that we read.
I think it was. It was a really good one. It's so memorable. Mm-hmm. Because who doesn't want to, like, fall into a book and, like, be transported to another world? Like, as readers, that's what we do. Mm-hmm. Like, that's often why we read.
Yes.
So to have that literally happen would be so cool.
Yes, to be able to escape literally would be amazing.
So some of, like, the tropes and, like, the whole concept of this book, like, what if Belle's character actually goes into a book and is being transported to another place? Were you expecting that to happen?
I was not expecting it at all. Like, because the book started out very much like watching the movie. Mm-hmm. And going into it, you're reading it, you're, like, reading the story.
Right.
And then that is, like, the twist.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were sucked in and you're learning new things. And then once she's out of the book, it kind of continues like the movie again. Just, like, with added scenes.
Like, if you are just going off of the title, Lost in a Book, I guess I didn't take it literally.
Yes.
But that ends up what happens. And it's not really a spoiler because you kind of know, and it tells you in the synopsis anyways, so.
But wouldn't it be cool to go into an actual book and be transported into a different world?
I think that would be really cool. I don't know that I would love it if it was, like, permanent, but if it was someplace that I could just go and visit to escape reality, I think that would be really cool.
Like, instead of just reading books like we do, if we could be sucked into one temporarily, instead of just reading it, that would be amazing.
I think that's kind of the reader's dream.
Yes.
I think that would be really cool. So, where would you hope to be transported if you, like, fell in a book?
Well, Hogwarts, of course. Hopefully with magical powers to come along with it.
Well, of course, you gotta have magic.
Well, no, I would want to be in the world of Harry Potter.
I think if it's someplace that I was just visiting and I wasn't going to be stuck forever, I would want to fall into, like, Oz.
Yes.
I would want to go to the Emerald City and, like, all of the different places that you visit in this book series.
Yeah.
And, like, all the different characters you meet. Like, all the little China people and all this cool stuff. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, just follow the yellow brick road.
It would also be really cool to go visit Wonderland.
In Narnia.
Oh, that... Well, I'm not, like, the biggest Narnia fan, but I can see the appeal.
I could travel through wardrobe.
It would also be cool to be, like, fall somewhere where I could be a mermaid for a day.
Yes.
I love a good mermaid story.
Me too. So what does your ideal library look like?
Pretty much very similar to, like, Belle's library in the castle, I think. You know, you have several stories of bookcases filled with all of your favorite books, and of course you gotta have a sliding ladder.
Yes, the iconic ladder is a must.
Like, I've done the best with what I can with the room I have. I mean, I have, like, 18 bookcases in here, but I don't have, like, an endless ceiling height where I can just, and I can't have, like, a sliding ladder going around in here or anything. I mean, the walls are broken up with windows and doors and stuff. It'd be cool if you could have just, like, uninterrupted, like, shelving all around a room.
Yes. And, like, to have endless books. Both, like, new and old and vintage.
And be able to have, like, designated sections away from each other would be really cool.
And maybe not have organized chaos like what I currently have.
Right, where you just kind of play Jenga with the books to make everything fit within a category as best as possible.
Because, as it stands right now, I always have homeless piles everywhere.
I know.
My ideal library does not have that.
Right. Well, books come in a lot faster than we read them. So that's how you end up with piles that don't have homes, because you don't want to shelve them, like, in their permanent home until you've read them, necessarily. Especially ones that you are expected to, like, read and review or something.
Yeah, just once it's on the shelf, it may never get read.
At least not for a long time, because you forget, because then you have new, like, books that come in that you're supposed to read.
And, like, I don't know about you, but sometimes I cannot find books on my shelf.
No.
Like, I think I know where it's at, and then I go to pick it up, and I cannot find it. I wonder, do I even have the book anymore? Is it still in the library? I don't know.
And then I have, like, layers of books stacked behind, because that's the only way I can make them all fit on the shelves. So I forget, once the books are tucked behind, like, a row of shelves, I completely forget what's tucked back there. I need to, like, make little notes to stick on the side of the shelves or something. So one that we both loved that had a unique twist, that's also written by Jennifer Donnelly, is
Beastly Beauty.
I thought this one was really interesting, and it was also weird to me that she wrote a secondary Beauty and the Beast retelling, because usually an author doesn't do that.
Yeah, normally they pick a new fairy tale, but she's done other fairy tales. But to have a second Beauty and the Beast one, but then again, this one is so different.
Completely different. So in this book, things are, like, a little reversed, because Belle is considered to be the Beast character instead of the traditional male Beast character that we're used to seeing.
And if I remember right, the guy was, like, the bookish Belle.
This one, that element really threw me for a loop.
Which I get, but this was not my first gender-bent Beauty and the Beast retelling. And I think that's why, like, it was easier for me to jump into it.
This was my first one. So the synopsis for this one is, what makes a girl beastly? Is it having too much ambition, being too proud, taking up too much space, or is it just wanting something, anything, too badly? That's the problem Arabella faces when she makes her debut in society. Her parents want to be sweet and compliant so she will marry well, but try as she might, Arabella can't extinguish the fire burning inside her, the source of her deepest wishes, her wildest dreams. When an attempt to suppress her emotions tragically backfires, a mysterious figure punishes Arabella with a curse, dooming her and everyone she cares about, trapping them in the castle.
So, like, what are your thoughts on gender-bent tales when the girl is the beast?
I don't know, because this was my first one, and it really threw me for a loop, because, like, I really did have a hard time wrapping my head around being them, like, having the characters swapped like that. I couldn't keep it straight in my mind, and it made it really confusing and frustrating at times.
Like, for me, I kind of felt like you had to just, like, look at it not as a retelling. Right. And look at those characters as just brand new.
Which I think was my struggle, because I went in thinking it was just, like, a straightforward retelling. Not, like, I guess I recognized that the genders, like, the characters were swapped, but it didn't matter. I was still confused and had to keep constantly, like, reminding myself, oh, wait.
The girl is the beast.
Yeah, the girl's the beast. He's the Belle.
Yeah, this is the first one that I had read that was gender-bent Beauty and the Beast was Curses by Liz McBride.
Okay.
And, like, it was very similar in a sense where the girl was the beast, and, like, but it was different. It was, like, I would say a looser retelling. But, like, I think having read one before this helped me understand the way the gender-bent story worked.
Okay. Yeah, I really kind of struggled with it, and I feel like I'd have to wait a while and then try and reread it again with new eyes, and then maybe I would be able to grasp it better.
I think you can't think of Belle as the beast, you have to think of a girl as a beast.
Yeah. But
the moment you label her as Belle, I think that's when things go wrong.
I think that was my problem right from the start.
But if you were cursed and were now a beast, wouldn't you try to be kind of, like, kind to your potential love interest instead of, like, grumpy, so that they would actually help you break your curse?
This is something that I've always kind of felt odd about this story, is that, like, when the beast was cursed in the castle, and, like, Belle came, he was, like, almost, like, intentionally driving her away, instead of, like, seeing her as someone he could potentially help cure the curse, like...
Yeah, but also, like, you have to think, at least in some of the versions, she wasn't the first one to enter that castle.
But knowing you're running out of time, like, I mean, you have the rose with petals falling down, showing you're, like, down to your last petal. Wouldn't you be trying everything you could? And, I mean, I guess I could understand it's been going on for years, you're kind of hopeless.
He's lost hope.
But, like, at the same time, it'd be like, okay, this is my last hope. I've got to try and make her love me. And not be evil and, like, drive her away.
You would think, but, like, I can see why he might be a little grumpy. He's lost hope. She's his last chance. He doesn't see it happening.
But if you were the beast, wouldn't you be trying, like, knowing this is my last try? Because knowing it's not just you that's being affected, it's all of these people that have helped serve you for years and years, that helped raise you and everything. Wouldn't you want to, at least for their sake, not be selfish and trying, like, solve the curse?
I would think so, but, like, might be easier to be beastly than be disappointed yet again.
So how would you react to finding out about a curse like this for the first time? Would you believe it's true, or would you freak out?
Well, I would definitely be freaking out.
I would freak out, too. If I suddenly looked like a beast, I would definitely be freaking out.
Yes. And I think I would have no choice but to believe that curses are, in fact, real. Like,
right, if you suddenly look like a beast, and all of your, friends or servants suddenly turn into, like, inanimate objects, you'd be like, okay, I believe you. I'm cursed.
Or at first you might think you're losing your mind a bit, but you would come around and be like, nope, I'm definitely cursed by this point.
What can I do to fix this? That's what I'd be thinking. Oh my gosh, I can't stay this way. So another YA Beauty and the Beast retelling is...
Bookish and the Beast by Aly Poston.
Poston.
And this was book 3 in the Once Upon a Con series.
I haven't read this one. I did read Geekerella.
Mm-hmm. And all 3 books in the series can be read as standalones. But, like, I think it's best to read them in order just so you can get the full sense of the characters that are, like, mentioned.
So they kind of overlap. The characters do.
Yeah.
So the synopsis for this one is, Rosie Thorne is feeling stuck on her college application essays in her small town and on that mysterious General Sand cosplayer she met at the Lexicon. Most of all, she's stuck in her grief over her mother's death. Her only solace was her late mother's library of rare Starfield novels. But even that disappeared when they sold it to pay off the hospital bills. On the other hand, Vance Raines has a Hollywood royalty for as long as he can remember, with all of the privilege and scrutiny that entails. Then the tabloid scandal catches up to him. He's forced to hide out somewhere that paparazzi would never expect to find him. Small town USA. At least there's a library in the house. Too bad he doesn't read. When Rosie and Vance's paths collide, and a rare book is accidentally destroyed, Rosie finds herself working to repay the debt. And while most Starfield superfans would jump at the chance to work in close proximity to the Vance Raines, Rosie has discovered something about Vance. He's a jerk, and she can't stand him. The feeling is mutual. But as Vance and Rosie begrudgingly get to know each other, their careful masks come off, and they may just find that there's more risk in shutting each other out than opening their hearts.
So I loved this one. Like, I can't say I love this one more than Geekerella, because Geekerella will always be, like, my favorite of the series. But it was really good for a Beauty and the Beast retelling.
I know, I really need to read it. It's been on my shelf for a bit. I had, like, every intention of reading, like, all 3 of them back to back, but that's not what happened. So why do you think a library or a book is often used as an escape from reality?
Well, reading is an easy way to escape somewhere that you've never been. You can live a different life for a short amount of time while you're reading.
Right.
Because, like, you can be in a fantasy world. You can have magical powers. Like, who wouldn't want to?
Right. It kind of allows you to just, like, step into someone else's world and live a different way, even if you know it's not real.
Yes. And you can escape your life problems for a short amount of time.
Which is really good, especially if you're, like, really stressed. I know that's when I find myself really wanting to read and just relax. Like, that's how I relax.
Yes, same. One of our favorite retellings
is As Old as Time by Liz Braswell. This is the 3rd book in the Twisted Tales series. And we talked about this in other episodes, but we love it so much we have to talk about it again.
This is the first time you're seeing us talk about it. You're not just listening.
So this one follows the storyline answering the question, what if Belle's mother is the one who cursed the beast?
Which, I love this, like, idea.
It's such an interesting premise. I just love that whole series, how they have those twists.
Yes.
And they answer those prompts like that.
Like, definitely one of my favorite, like, retelling series. So, how did this twist work in the story for you? Or didn't it? Especially since the original story of The Beauty and the Beast, we don't really get to know that much about Belle's mother, since she wasn't alive.
Right. I think the twist really worked for me in the best way, because I imagine this would create all sorts of complicated emotions for Belle, because she ends up falling for the beast, so she might feel torn between, like, her mom and the beast, since she's the one that cursed him.
It was a really unique twist, and I liked it.
I think that's the only one. I mean, I've read dozens of Beauty and the Beast retellings at this point, and I feel like this is the only one that followed that kind of storyline.
Over time, all the Beauty and the Beast retellings kind of blurred together. And I can't keep them all straight.
Right. I know, even when we were putting this episode together, I was finding, it was like, oh, what was the difference in this one compared to the other one?
What, was this the one that was like the book, like the movies? Was this one like this one? Like, I don't know. But they're all so good.
So this retelling had more of an atmospheric vibe. Why do you think that is?
I think part of it was because the author pulled in, like, some French words and terminology. And, like, it made you feel like you were there in the castle with the characters.
Right.
And, like, that created the whole atmosphere and the vibe. And, like, you were in the book.
I think that also kind of helped, like, make it distinct and a little different than some of the other ones, because it did feel more atmospheric. And I feel like those elements, like you mentioned, kind of brought that out.
I did feel like this one was slower to read.
I agree.
And I don't know if it was because there was, like, more to, like, the description in the atmosphere and just, like, the overall, like, way things were worded.
It could be.
But, like, I felt like it took me forever to get through this book, even though I was powering through. I was reading it, and I was loving every second.
Yeah, it did read a little slower than some of the other ones I've read in the series. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that was, but I remember...
I loved it all the
I did. And sometimes when they're slower like that, that makes me not like it as much, but that wasn't the case with this one.
No, I was sucked in. I was in the castle with the characters, like, when I was reading it.
You were there.
I was.
And you loved it.
So another Disney retelling of this tale is The Beast Within by Serena Valentino. Mm-hmm. And is book 2 in the Villain series.
I really like this series, too.
Me too.
It is very important that you read them in order.
Yes, I started on book 3 because I figured, oh, it's a different story, it follows a different character, and it wasn't going to matter. It matters.
It matters a lot because you have the Odd Sisters that you're also following, and that's kind of like, they're very present in all of the other books, and so are some of the other, like, villains. They come into play, too. Yes. So just because it's, say, the Beast story or Maleficent story doesn't mean that's who you're solely focused on.
Yeah, don't do what I did. Don't start on anything that's not book 1.
You'll be confused.
Because, I read book 3, then I read book 1, then I read book 2, and now I'm torn. Do I start book 4? Do I reread book 3?
You might need to go back.
I know. But I'm like, I really didn't love book 3 enough to reread it.
So the summary for this one is, a cursed prince sits alone in a secluded castle. Few have seen him, but those who claim they have say his hair is wild and his nails are sharp, like the beast. But how did this prince, once jovial and beloved by the people, come to be a reclusive and bitter monster? Is it possible that he can never find true love and break the curse that has been placed upon him?
So when you think of a beast, what comes to mind?
Someone that's, like, mean and hairy.
Yes, like, big, furry, animalistic, mean, scary. But, like, would you stay with a beast?
I would like to think I wouldn't.
Right?
But I think I can see it depending on the situation. Like, if I know he's cursed and I'm the one that could break the curse, then maybe I would try and stay and help.
But, like, Belle, at least, like, for a good chunk of the story, she doesn't know that. She doesn't know anything.
She kept coming back.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I would. I mean, he kidnapped her. I mean...
But if you already have feelings, if you develop feelings, it's harder to leave. Even if you're being treated poorly.
But would you let yourself develop those feelings? Would you engage in conversation and, like, be around him?
No, I don't know. See, it's
but,
hard
like,
to say.
then again, like, the servants, and maybe you would be willing to try for them.
It was a magical experience. I don't know.
Listeners, tell us your thoughts on this. Would you be staying with the beast?
So, the Beast Within gives more insight on the beast and how he was before. Mm-hmm. Do you think everyone in the castle deserves to be cursed with him?
No, absolutely not.
I don't think so either.
Because, like, yes, they could have, like, helped teach him not to be, like, beastly and stuff. And, and it was still him doing it and, like, being mean.
Right.
So, no, I don't think they deserve to be cursed.
No, because I feel like they didn't do anything wrong. So it also makes me wonder why the Enchantress cursed, like, everyone in the castle.
I know, that hardly seems right.
No, like, why did she take it on everyone? Why not just him? Because he was already selfish and everything in the first place, so why would she think that he even cared if they were cursed too? Like, how would that really punish him?
Because he would be forced to care.
Maybe.
But, like...
How did she know that that's how that would work out?
She didn't. She could have just, like, doomed them all. So, a manga we really loved that followed Beauty and the Beast was the Belle's Tale and Beast's Tale.
I really like these ones. I actually have 2 different copies, and, like, Belle's Tale has Belle's face on the cover, and Beast has his. So when you put them together, like, side by side the books, they create one picture of them, like, looking at each other, and I really love that.
Oh, no, it's so cute.
So I have a black and white version, and I also have a full color version.
I have a colored 2-in-1 hardcover, which is different than yours. I think was it like collector's edition or something? I don't know. There's something special
I know when
about
you found it, I didn't know existed, and I was jealous because I wanted the third copy.
I didn't have a copy, that's why I won.
I had to let you have it. Because you hadn't read it.
Yeah. I have it now, though.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Bound to get you out of a slump.
Yeah. So the synopsis for this is, in Disney live-action film Beauty and the Beast, Belle, a bright and beautiful and independent young woman, is taken prisoner by a beast in his castle. Despite her fears, she befriends the castle's enchanted staff and learns to look beyond the beast's hideous exterior and realize that the kind heart and soul of the true prince is inside. The Beauty manga delves into Belle's deepest thoughts as she's taken prisoner by the beast in his majestic castle, where the Beast manga explores Beast's deepest thoughts as he captures Belle in his castle and finds himself falling in love with her feisty attitude and adventurous spirit.
Yeah, this was just, like, so cute.
But it was also kind of heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved these two stories, and I really thought that the artwork was absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I have 2 copies of each, is because they were so, they're so stunning. And,
No, but if you love the live-action Beauty and the Beast, you should read this.
But I love how you get both perspectives. So you really do have to read both of them.
Yeah, and you get to know more about the characters and what they're thinking, what they're feeling, which is really nice.
It's delightful. So one that was a little more grown up
was Curse of Shadows and Thorns by L.J. Andrews. It is book 1 in the Broken Kingdom series.
So the synopsis for this one is, a rebellious princess, a cursed rogue, a forbidden love that will bring a kingdom to its knees. As niece of the king, Elise Lysander cares about 2 things, sneaking into gambling dens and avoiding the profitable marriage at all costs. When her uncle holds the life of her deadly ill father over her head, reluctantly Elise puts her fate into the hands of the Legion Grey, the handsome and mysterious dowry negotiator. He may be arrogant and infuriating, but soon Legion incites a blistering, forbidden passion she can't ignore. As her own attraction grows, so do the dangers, attacks from the black-eyed people, a cursed enemy who is more beast than man, and rumors of Fae. Re-entering for the crown as they believed was stolen from them long ago. After a bloody coup upends the kingdom, Elise flees with Legion, and nothing is as it seems. The man she's allowed into her heart reveals his own secret plans with the return of magic, and he has every intention of using Elise to see them through. With war between magic and mortal on the horizon, Elise must pick a side to protect her kingdom. Does she stand with her people who stole the throne, or with the man who lied his way into her heart?
I really enjoyed this one.
I did too.
And, like, I don't know if I felt like it was Beauty and the Beast retelling at first.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, as I read it more, I could see little aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it was more inspired by rather than full-on retelling.
We actually have special editions of this one, and they're really beautiful.
I was so glad the Nerd Fam sent it to us.
I know. I was so excited. So this book has really strong characters, and it's like a forbidden romance.
It is a bit of a slow burn, but you also have hidden identities, which I love.
And you have Vikings and Fae, and a lot of betrayal.
Like, it was so good.
So can it be a Beauty and the Beast retelling if it doesn't have the iconic library scene? What made this one different than what we typically see?
I honestly don't remember if this one had a library scene.
I don't really remember either.
And I feel like when it comes to Beauty and the Beast retellings, I usually remember the library.
Mm-hmm. Because it's something you usually wait for and you hope to see in, like, any of the retellings.
So I'm wondering if this one even had one, and I just don't remember it.
It's possible, but I feel like I would remember it too.
But, like, I think what makes a Beauty and the Beast retelling is you have a beastly character, someone is taken to a castle or, like, somewhere else.
Right.
And they fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's...
Reluctantly, but they fall in love.
And I feel like that's what makes a Beauty and the Beast retelling.
Mm-hmm.
And the library scene is just, like, an added bonus.
Yeah. I do love a good library scene.
Mm-hmm. Just, like, I also feel like ACOTAR is considered to be retelling, or at least, like, inspired by it. I don't remember if ACOTAR had a library scene either.
I don't remember if they did either.
But
I read that one a long time ago.
Same. If you're listening, tell us if ACOTAR has a library scene and we just don't remember it. That's what bugged me now.
So a little bit darker and spicier retelling of this classic tale is...
Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen.
So this is book 1 in the Beasts of Briar series.
I have not read this one yet.
You've had it for a while.
I know, I've had it. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, therefore I haven't read it yet.
It's a steamy adult Beauty and the Beast retelling, so I can see your reluctance to pick it up.
It's not my go-to.
So the synopsis for this one is, 4 beastly princes, 1 awkward bookworm, an enchanted world of fae, magic, and danger. I've always loved fairy tales. I've never imagined I'd actually be in one. When my father wanders into the enchanted realm of the fae, I know I have to go after him. And when he gets imprisoned, I'll do anything to save him, even trade my freedom for his. I had no idea I'd end up imprisoned by 4 sexy fae who turn into beasts at night. I have to win my freedom, and that means making a bargain with them. They must find their mates in order to break the curse. If I can help them do that, they'll set me free. Sounds simple, right? It's not. Because against my better judgment, I'm starting to fall for these beastly princes. One is smart and sweet, the other mysterious and deadly, another flirty and confident, and the last prince, he's handsome, strong, has a wicked temper, and is dead set against breaking the curse. Why does he want to keep me here forever? But it's not just my freedom on the line. If I don't break the prince's curse soon, all the magic in the enchanted vale will be stolen by an evil and stupidly hot prince of thorns, and I'm not letting my princes stay cursed. Not after I've fallen in love with them.
It sounds so good, but also, like, I don't know if it's for me.
Because it's a reverse harem.
Mm-hmm.
Enemies to lovers. Why choose between 4 sexy fae princes?
Like, but really, 4 of them?
Yeah, she really doesn't choose either. Like,
I can't wrap my head around that. Like, how can you fall in love with 4 different guys?
I don't know, but she did.
And the fact that they're all beasts.
It's a little convenient for the story, I suppose, but it really leaves off on a cliffhanger. I really would like to know how it continues.
Is book 2 in existence, or is it still in the works?
I really don't know. I'd have to look into that. So I thought that all 4 of the princes were really interesting, and I really appreciated the dynamic they had with with each other and with Rosalina. And it was nice to see how they each had different type of connection and interactions with the heroine.
Yeah, I'm really hesitant with there being 4 love interests.
But each of their characters was so distinct, and they had such, like, prominent traits that you were easily able to, like, differentiate between them. Which is sometimes when you have lots of characters you're kind of, like, following and getting to know, they can all kind of blend together, but I didn't feel like that was the case here.
Yeah, it's just, I struggle with love triangles. I find them annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So adding in
extra people,
and then knowing that she's not going to choose, I don't know. That's why it's still sitting on my shelf, because I have a pretty special edition, you know.
It is really pretty.
And if I wind up hating it, I feel like, will I be able to part with it? Or is it going to forever be on my shelf as just, like,
a trophy that you don't really care for?
Like, I can't do that.
So can you ever imagine being in a situation where you had a why choose dynamic? Why is this concept so intriguing?
I can't imagine ever being in a situation like that.
Well, I know that's a thing, like, in real life. Like, some people just love people and they can be with multiple people. I, personally, can't do that.
Nope, I found my one human, I'm good.
But the idea of not having to choose is intriguing.
But, like, I don't know. It's not for me.
You might really like the book, though.
That's possible. So, out of the Beauty and the Beast retellings we've talked about in this episode, which ones are your favorite and which ones do you recommend the most?
I think I find myself recommending Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly the most.
Same.
I think it's a really good one to start off, especially if you haven't read retellings before. Yes. It's a really good one to start.
Yeah, it's a start. I would say it's a starter retelling.
And it's just really fun. It's a fun one.
And then I would also recommend the book Bookish and the Beast, the whole entire Once Upon a Con series. Mainly because I love Geekerella.
I did really enjoy Geekerella. But I haven't finished the series.
And I would also recommend As Old as Time. It's also one of my favorites. I'm always recommending it.
That's why they made it into this episode.
It doesn't matter if we talked about it before. I'm sure it'll come up again, too.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Bookish Sisters Podcast. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and whatever streaming platform you're listening to us on. And make sure to tune in on October 13th for our next episode. Happy reading!